Again.
Episode
4 of the Recollection podcast.
How are you feeling?
I'm getting there. I might cough throughout this video.
That's fine.
But I'm here.
Just let it all.
The show must go on.
Thank you. I appreciate your dedication. So we're going to do our usual going over locals, and then we'll talk about some announcements they've made lately. Some things that were confirmed in Discord, which I'm pretty hyped about.
Woo!
And then I'll complain a bit. There has to be a balance, and I like to complain. So
why don't we start with complaint? I'm just kidding. We don't want to do that.
Aw,
we don't want to
right.
scare everyone away. No. Let's go over locals. I feel like that should be a segment. We should name that segment something sometime. What we're seeing in the locals.
Yeah.
Around locals.
In our neck of the woods, is that too Weather Channel-ish, or, you know?
This is another TCG coming out. It's,
Oh, God.
by
that's
a
right.
bigger company. They make a couple like movies into fairy tale or fairy tales into movies and then copyright them. Yeah, we don't want to
Fine.
We don't
Fair
want to
enough.
anger the rat.
All right. At our locals, unfortunately, neither of us were able to make it.
Me for aforementioned illness.
Yes, and I had to do real life stuff. That's all I'm gonna say. But we had Water Assassin take first again, although it was a different player this time. We had Water Tamer, which I don't know if Ryan just made slimes really big or if he he has the snake card. I forgot what it's called, but that's what everyone's afraid of. Is
Yeah, that's the
water
big
snake.
one. It basically gains attack for every water card in your graveyard, and water is already milling yourself a lot to try to get to floating memory faster. Like water, I feel like has been like floating memory turbo, and so that's what he does. He mills himself, and then on top of that, you get the benefit of snake comes out with a bunch of attack because of all your water cards in the grave. But he found out pretty quickly. The card is everyone's playing to counteract erupting Rye.
Okay.
The nullifying lantern. Also shuts down Snake Turbo because your cards are no longer water.
That's
in the
right.
graveyard. And unlike Fire, he doesn't have the ability to easily clear it. So Fire has a bunch of things that kill Regalia.
No, you just hope they don't play it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to go into the match. Just no, that kind of sucks. I wonder if they have to make it so other elements can do it. I mean, just Fire having the ability to that's kind of.
I think we have to remember that it's set 1.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so many tools that each color is going to have right now.
I disagree. They should patch it immediately.
Patch it. That's with Fractured Crown, my man. It's coming later.
That's true. Which will be here like sooner than we think. But and then we had Fire Rye for third. And then Fire Sylvie for fourth, which I think was Tim. I have a feeling he was setting squirrels on fire and catapulting them at the opponent.
Oh my goodness. It's good to see Sylvie's doing well. I think the change to, I don't know if you know this, but the change to retaliating.
Yeah. I know that's a big deal because now, you can play things early on. Even if they don't obey you, you have like a 6/6 gorilla.
Yeah.
And then it can punch your opponent in the face for like a quarter of their health, and they're like, well, that's dumb. And you're like, oh, are you complaining about Tamer? Ooh. So, like...
Well, the big thing is now, I think, against specifically the rain builds. Well, if you don't know, we'll just go over the change anyway. So there was a change to... Well, if you don't know, the beasts and the animals in this game have... A lot of them have a keyword called Pride. And so Pride has a number attached to it. And whatever that number is, the creature or the animal ally will not listen to you, a la Pokemon, basically. You don't have enough gym badges, unless you're that level, right? So if it's Pride 5, which I believe the gorilla is, it can't attack, it can't intercept, and it can't activate abilities if it has them. And previously, it also couldn't retaliate. The devs, it's a bit of a flavor win too, I think, because I think if you poke a gorilla with a stick, it's not going to just be like, well, my trainer, who I don't even listen to, said it's not okay, so I'm not going to hit you back. So the change now is anything can retaliate, even if it has Pride. So basically, I think the big thing this does is the big sweeping turn that Lorraine likes to do. So usually they go to level 2, their attacks are buffed, They play a board clear, like one of their title something.
Yeah, there's like the tornado, there's the flame
Every
sweep,
color has
and-
one.
yeah.
Every color has one, right? So wind, fire, and water have a sweep. They would usually try to kill like 2, maybe 3 creatures, draw a bunch of cards, and then they just run away from the game from there. They can still do that. However, if they are doing that against 6/6 gorillas or whatever Ryan's snake was, like a 5/4 or whatever, well, now they're all going to retaliate on that. So they're going to take a bunch of damage in the process. So you have to be more careful against Tamer specifically doing that. And I think that's a really good change, and I think it's going to help Sylvia a lot going forward.
Well, no, I agree. It is just kind of silly if you had, a giant monkey out, and they're just like, well, I'll just kill it before it like becomes aware or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, I'm glad they fixed that. I do believe though a lot of new players, even if they are aware of the rule, they will hit level 2 and they're like, all right, I'm coming in for like a 4 or 5 AoE, and they're like, okay, monkey punches you for 6, squirrel hits you for 3, and you're like, so I cleared the board, but I took 15 damage or something silly, and so players are gonna have to get used to that. No, it's good to see that. I know everyone right now. I think right now the big things are Fire Rye, Wind Lorraine, Water Assassin apparently is insanely good, but I don't hear
It's doing really well at our meta. I think honestly the reason you don't hear much about Water Assassin is just because it wasn't a starter deck, and Sylvie has that like, I don't know. Like, she's almost like a mascot for the game, and I think a lot of people resonate with like, having like woodland animals and stuff like that, and being like naturey. And I think the assassin doesn't have that like connection to people like naturally. Now I do think it's very good. It's pretty much like a stun deck. They keep you from doing a lot of things that you want to do. A lot of times they're banishing your cards from your memory. They're putting cards from your hand into your memory, things like that. So
yeah. And it's probably, I think, I haven't played it, but I have a feeling Water Assassin or water decks in general are a bit more nuanced, whereas Tamer, I mean, it takes, you have to pilot it correctly, but it's kind of like play monkey, play squirrel, bite opponent. I think their new card that, it's not a new card, but the card where it's like Cry Wolf or something, and it like auto tanks is a big deal.
Cry for help.
Yeah.
I think.
I think you're right. Cry for help.
It's a big card. It's a really strong card to be able to like force an attack to something.
Yeah, I think most like Assassin and Warrior, they're building up a big thing, and they're like, okay, I'm going to finish the game. I'm going to come in for like 14 on this swing, and you're like, well, the squirrel is going to tank all of it.
Yep.
That can really throw off your game. So no, I'm glad we got 2 Tamers up in there.
And then the Fire Eye. Good old Fire Eye, just doing Fire Eye things.
I think no matter what, Fire Eye is just, you're on a timer, you can't afford to screw up, you can't like dilly-dally or try to be fancy, like you just have to kill him before he blows you up. And
I think Fire just has the most like overall like good stuff package right now. At least that's what it feels like. As far as like drawing and having tools and
yeah, there's very little downside to Fire. You do see newer players kind of go, yeah, but some cards you have to take damage, and I'm like, doesn't matter.
No.
If you're gonna like, it's drawing cards from 2 damage is perfectly fine, especially if you're gonna end the game in like 3 or 4 turns. So,
especially as Rye, when like, if you're still alive, the game is going on. You know what I mean? Like,
yes. Yeah.
It's like you don't have to worry about retaliating as much. You don't have to worry about all this. It's all spell effect damage. Where like you don't have to worry about retaliating or anything like that. It's just, and a lot of it's gonna be like in one fell swoop. It's just like, like Erupting Rhapsody, you're dead. Or like Erupting Rhapsody, copy it, you're dead.
I know Bronson, who's a big Flesh and Blood. I mean, he does other TCGs and market stuff as well. But he was looking to get in Grand Archive. He was building Fire Eye, which were like, another Fire Eye, come join the ranks. But he was seeing how insane some of the combinations were, like doing the Cremation against the Library Witch, and I'm like, you just draw 3, and and then you're 3
Seems
cards
good.
ahead. Yeah. And there's plenty of games where I'm playing against a Fire Eye, they draw 3, and then I'm like, how many cards do you have? And they're like 17 and a half, and I'm just like, well, I have 4, so seems good.
You
No,
can
it's
also
really
deny Lorraine draw cards a lot of the time too, because like they'll go to level 2, they'll have the draw effect anytime they kill an ally, and then they'll go to kill something to draw the card, and then you kill it yourself, which a lot of decks don't have that opportunity.
No.
And then you're like, well, I get the effect from it dying.
And I also don't think there's a limit on it. I think it's just kill target. Like, if it's your own ally. I don't think there's, like, any restriction. There's just a lot of flexibility. So you're just like, no, I'll steal that from you and get, 2 cards. But it was just bringing up Bronson and new players in general. It was interesting because he was like, what about this card? I'm like, no, that's more for, like, arcane and building up for, like, the level 3 thing. But there was like 6 different paths he was talking about. I'm like, that's for just having one set in the game. It's really nice that players can go all these different directions and build all these. I don't think they're called talents. I'm thinking of like WoW, but like different specs or
like the attribute or whatever.
Yeah. So and that's something I think resonated with him. He's like, well, if this doesn't work out, I can try this, or all the different matchup combinations that you can have. So no, I was glad he was getting into it. Don't know if especially because we weren't there. I think that's about it for top 4. I think we have one more event that's awarding packs, and then Alt Edition's out. So
and then we get more packs, but they're Alter Edition, and I'm really excited for that. I want to get some collector rares of the. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get them. I don't know how rare they'll be, but I want the level 3s that come in the starter decks. So it's the Sylvie, the Lorraine that gets buffed by your weapons and banished, and the Xander, all that. The ones that we didn't get, I really want them. I'm a little less hype about the Lineage Break champions. I don't think I'll be playing them ever at any point. But they do look great. Like Merlin looks sick. Like Merlin's a great looking card.
Yeah. I think we both agree Merlin's really good. And I don't know, I've never played him. I think I've only seen his card like twice, but like Alan, I just haven't heard too many people going, oh yeah, like, is he Lineage Break?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the tamer.
That's what I thought, yeah. And I tried Mordred, but it was a little, I'm sure there's really good builds for him, but it was awkward because I'd use like the Lorraine Sword Slash, and it just naturally has floating memory, so you're like, it already has floating memory, and it doesn't double down. You don't get 2 double or floating memory, so like, I don't know. The level 3 Lorraine just has so many benefits, and it's that draw card on kill for level 2 is
wild,
a game changer.
It's very good.
So I don't know. We'll have to test it out and
absolutely. So on to the next thing. First of all, Ascent Houston. We're very excited for it. That's in September.
Yeah,
it's at the end of September. We're booked up for it. Apparently, it's like all the way booked up for it.
Yeah, and
not tickets.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to assume there's no numbers or anything, but I have a feeling it's their first event. I don't think they had like the whole entire hotel like reserved or something like that.
Anything, yeah.
But it's nice to hear that the demand is there. People raced to get their hotel reservations, and
no, people are excited. The excitement for this game has been very real, and I think you can just see that in terms of like, as soon as they dropped like cards, like the full what's it called, index for first edition, people were playing in Discord like immediately. There was just games all the way down the Discord, people playing. There's been Discord leagues, there's been all this stuff, and people are just ready for this this actual big tournament to show what they're made of, to be really a big part of it, and we're going to be a part of it in some way or another, or we're going to be there. I'm excited to see. I hope there's coverage for it of some kind.
Yeah. Me too.
I'd love to see like either at least like recorded coverage or even live casting. I think there'd be an audience for it. Yeah, that's something I'd super be interested in, and just the fact that there's so much hype going into it. Yeah, I'm really excited for it.
I know. I mean, they already have 2 different leagues set up, which one of them is going to probably take the bulk of the coverage, which is like the actual gameplay. Is it the Gold League or
it's the Path of Steel and the Path of Silver?
Okay, that's why I thought Silver and Gold, but yeah. And the other one we've talked about it before, but the Collector Path of Silver will let non-competitive players kind of jump into that. I'm curious to see I know they already have themes. Like there was Valor, which I was like, that's kind of my thing. I would kind of want to go for that. But just the actual presentation, how you're supposed to like catalog the collection, and I've just never seen anything like that. I would say like kind of gameplay deck wise, I kind of like the Fire promo better. But the art for the silver one, I think it's just a generic crystal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the one from the teaching starter decks. It's like the, I don't even remember the name of it. It's like, it's Lost Spirit, I think.
Yeah,
Lost Spirit,
something like that. It's definitely not colorless. Like I'm thinking like Pokemon.
Right, but it is colorless.
Yeah,
like it's not the name of it, but it doesn't have like you can't play Fire, Wind, or Water cards. There's no benefit to running it. There might be in the future. Mm-hmm. We don't know. There could be like if your hero doesn't have a color, then you get a benefit or something like that.
Yeah,
it could be in the future. But as of right now, there's no benefit.
But yeah, with that promo, the art, and just getting it, I was like, yeah, no, like definitely like either one of those would be amazing. And I know there's like a first place one, and then I think like top 16 get a different one. I don't know if it just says like top 4 first or however they broke it down, but no, it's definitely an incentive to go, especially if you're not a collector, but you just like money. I'm sure they're going to go for a lot on the market. But then they have the different packages that you can get for the event. And I think there's 4 different packages. I just want to see what the D30... I don't know if it's spin up or spin down. I guess it would be spin up if you're taking damage, but... no, for how much the package costs to get that, I want to see what it looks like, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to really try to get that big package, but I heard they're very limited, so we'll be there. We'll be there clicking F5.
Yes, yeah. And there was a blue in Discord. It sounds like we're talking about like Blizzard forums or something, but there was a blue.
Said.
He or she, I'm not sure, sent an image of the Merlin playmat, but it was upside down, which you can fix that really easily.
Saladar.
Yeah.
Leaker extraordinaire. Leaks everything.
But I saw the playmat was leaked or whatever, and just everybody was like, oh my god, I can't wait to like sell my car to make this trip and do everything. And it's a really nice looking Merlin playmat, which kind of reminds me because of the playmat. Apparently a lot of people are asking for the merch shop, which whenever they hint about a merch shop reappearing on Discord,
then
everybody's
like, merch shop when?
Yeah, loses their mind, gets all their money out. The latest info they said is possibly early May. So I'm assuming after Alt Edition comes out and all that nonsense is done, because I still think it's a team of like 7 people.
It's very low. I don't know. I have no idea what the number is, but I think it's a very small team.
Yeah. I'm sure they don't want to deal with the merch shop and the game launch and OP and all that stuff at the same time, but I think it's for every $30 you spend, you can get promos. And the promos are a big deal in this game.
They're so hard to get.
Yeah.
Before we get to our big news, we can talk about that real quick.
Yes.
And then we can bring it back with the big good news.
Mm-hmm.
Promos.
So promos.
How you feel about them?
I'll say this. I know it's random, but during the last merch shop, I think I dropped like something like $400. I got the giant desk mat for the store, which looks gorgeous. But I also got sleeves and this and that and play mats. And then you get all these promo packs, and all of them are non-foil, and they're still cool, but it's also a little disappointing. You're like, I dropped all this money, and like, I wish it was kind of like if you buy 4, you get like 1 guaranteed or something like that. And on theirs, for their benefit, people would just buy more if it was guaranteed. I don't know. It is what it is. My biggest thing right now is, and we talked about at breakfast, was I really want honorary Vanguard promos.
Vanguard?
Is it honorable? Or
Honorable? Anyway, the Vanguard.
The Vanguard that sees play in every deck right now. And I couldn't find information on which exact event it was given out on. And then I was like, but I want promo foils, the foil versions. How much are they? I found like 2 on eBay. They were $270 and $300, and I'm just like, it's just not happening right now. And I get rare stuff has a demand, but like you mentioned it, you had to go to a specific event I don't even know when it was. I think it was probably in California or Texas. That's usually where like the events are. I had no shot.
It's one of those things where if things can become too rare, then people might get turned off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's one thing to have very rare stuff, right? And I love that. I actually really do. It's not like a knock on having that stuff. It gets to a point where people feel like it's so unobtainable that I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like how like original cold foils feel now, right? Like, they're so unobtainable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care. But like, I don't really want that feeling in current promos. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does, because the game hasn't even been out yet. And sure, they can have like exclusive pre-official launch promos, but it's like, I don't know how anyone had a chance to get those unless you were in the area. I don't think, maybe someone did, but I don't think anyone bought tickets specifically to fly out, buy merch, get the promo. I don't know, and it's a staple. I really like the art on it. I don't know. I hope they do like a re-release or maybe for one of the upcoming months, because I know they change the promos every month for the OP packs. I don't know. I hope they do re-releases. The Christmas one, maybe like that can stay because it's not gameplay related or Festive Lorraine or whatever it was
And
called.
you're not going to make everyone happy ever, right? I mean, if you make it too available, then people say, well, it's not worth anything, and it's too widely available. And then if you make things, you know, like we're saying, like too unavailable, then people are like, well, I don't even care because it's like, it's not for me. Like, can't get that one. So, I don't know. It's a line you have to walk. The only thing I'll say that kind of like I still have to get used to is the fact that the promos are either foil or non-foil. So it feels weird that like even foil drops have like even promos have like a foil drop, like and so you can get almost like a feels bad getting a promo. Yeah, because you're like, oh, I got this really cool promo. I open it up, but it's a non-foil. Aw, like not as good.
Yeah, I mean, you explained it pretty well. Like, there's a balance to it, of course. If everyone had easy access to the foil versions, then it would not be a big deal. But I don't know. I mean, that's kind of up to the devs to decide how can we make this exciting. But you have to put a little effort in, or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, people want them.
Oh, absolutely.
The second, like you said, the secondary prices are going sky high and doing crazy, or going crazy. So, I mean, they are wanted.
Yes, they are. But and it's my fault. Like, I saw when they had like the Bubble Mage foil promos, and I'm just like, I don't know. And then I look at Water Decks, and I'm like, I really want 4 Bubble Mage promo foils. I didn't know the Vanguard was going to be such a staple because I was an idiot. But
we didn't know.
Now I want 4 of them, and I'm like, that's like $1,300. And I love this. I love when a card is $300 and then under it says like plus $5 shipping, and I'm like, dude, come on.
You can't even ship it to me.
No.
It's like that other meme too, where it's like $20, sure. $15 with $5 shipping. Get that crap out of here.
It's garbage.
I don't want that.
No. So, I guess we'll see what happens. I know they still have more announcements to make for the Texas event, but was there an entry promo?
Yes, but they haven't shown it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so from what I understand, I did look at the packages a little bit. The $60 package, and if I get the prices wrong, sorry, it's been a minute. But the $60 package comes with 1 promo, 1 non-foil promo. The middle package, which I don't remember the price, is 4 non-foil promos. And then the VIP package gets you 4 non-foil and 4 foil of the same promo. So you get like 8 of them. And we haven't seen it yet. We don't know what it is. So you do get a promo. There were playmats that were shown. I'm super excited for it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
And I think there was also a playmat. Or no, maybe that was the Merlin playmat. I can't remember. But
and the first place card is wild.
Oh, yeah.
The fire card.
Yes.
I'm sure there's a top 8 version, I think. I don't know. I said I'm sure and then I think, which is funny. I always love it when people do that, when they're like, you're
just excited, that's all.
It probably is this, I'm pretty sure. Like, what does that mean? But anyway, I am excited to see what comes of this event.
Yep. Oh, you also get tickets, like
Oh yeah,
prize wall.
they're gonna have side events and prize
Tickets,
walls and
yeah.
stuff, including uncut sheets, which I'm very excited for. I love some uncut sheets. I
Mm-hmm.
want to get them framed and put them up. Blah blah blah. So,
Yeah.
all right, I think we're on to our last bit of news here. I'll let you do the honors.
Oh, thank you. Well, it was a team effort, and it was something I wasn't aware of as it was happening. I was at the shop doing some stuff. It hasn't been how can I phrase
Officially
this? It's like not official, but basically, our community has been promoting the game for about a year and a half now. We did the Kickstarter. We've been firing off events. We've been having like 18 people every week. I know a lot of us have been very active in the Discord.
What? They keep going.
I'm just very excited. But apparently, according to one of the devs, we have been locked in. The Haven Games has been locked in for a regional. I don't know if it's the first. I don't know where in the timeline that's going to be. But yeah, we got a regional. And despite being a regional and a huge event, and we're going to have a blast, and kind of want a Florida promo. But
I'm kind of interested based on their other promos what they would pick, because there's a lot they could go with. They could do like a knockoff Disney or something.
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking of Ryan, and it's just a gator with Alan on top of it, maybe with like a frog hat going on. But no, a big thing, we can go into that, but a big thing is I've worked with, I've talked to other distributors, devs, OP people and all that. But the way they have been communicating with us and just staying on top of things, and the way they I think it was like you and Devin and Zach were all in the discussion, and it was just like, well, does James want a regional? And I think I got tagged, so I instantly went over there and I was like, yeah, I'm working on a big event right now, and they were just like, done. If you're committed, we're committed, and I was like,
I think it started with I don't remember exactly how it started, but I do remember the question that really sparked it was I think it was Siladar. It was one of the blues.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was Siladar. And if I'm saying that wrong, I'm so sorry. But anyway, it was like, hey, how many people can the Haven hold? And I was like, a little over 100. Mm-hmm. And he's like, how about? And I was like, hey James, I messaged him, look at me, I was like, hey James, you might want to get over to the main Discord, I think something's happening.
Mm-hmm. It's like that gif of the pug where his head turns, he's like very curious, and I was just like, oh my god, what? And then yeah, and it wasn't like a 3-hour wait or something. I was just like, yeah, like we'll definitely do it. Done. Now, something that I don't think they've ever announced was, I guess, a store directly fills out an application or something. Yeah, applies for to do a regional. That's been kind of a frustration with some other TCGs that I've been a part of, because there's no clear explanation of how a store gets recognized. I think naturally through local play and reporting, a company may pick up on them, but this was just like, no, you apply, and I'm sure you have to fill out a bunch of stuff and take pictures, but
I'm sure they'll have more. Like, we don't even know what a regionals really is right now, other than it's a bigger event. Mm-hmm. It's going to probably be more specific, like throughout different regions. Like, this is Orlando's regional, and South Florida will maybe get one or something like that. Mm-hmm. But on top of that, when I think it's called the Omnidex, is like their big OP thing, when that gets released, I'm sure that will tie into like however they decide who gets one. Mm-hmm. It's like whoever hosts more events with more players, more demand, they'll try to like focus on those stores. Yeah. No, I'm super excited for it though. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I've already decided that I'm casting it, not playing in it. So we'll at least have live coverage of that, which is super awesome, super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of people in the Discord that they're already like, well, I'm going, I'm making the drive and I'm flying in, and it'll be nice to see everybody that's on the Discord. It'll be nice to see all these other Grand Archive players.
Are we getting
super hype
lanyards like you do for other games?
Yes, no, absolutely, no. We are going. We're gonna do everything we can. I don't know if they were serious, but I want standees. I want you to walk in.
I
And
do remember that conversation.
Yeah. They didn't get. He kind of got back to me, but he was like, "Would you pay shipping for this? I'll pay double shipping." Like, but just the support is there. That's all that matters. That goes a very long way. So
it has blown me away up until this point. The support for Grand Archive. Not that I think I've said this like almost in every episode so far, but not that I expected it to do bad at all. It's just it has far surpassed what I had expected.
Mm-hmm.
Like I expected like 6 to 7 people at locals and a slow growth from there. Right? Like hey, we pick up another player, we toss them on how to play, we get to 8, we get to 9, we get to 10.
Mm-hmm.
We started with 18. And then the next week there was 18.
Yeah.
And I was like,
no, it's way better, like you said, than I thought. I'm very thankful for it. I don't know. And you, right before we started recording this, someone hit me up on Discord and they're like, I heard about this, I really want to play, and I'm like, it's not even out yet. And it's not like super advertised. It's not like Magic or something. You know, I don't think they have like commercials going on or anything like that. But no. There is, oh my god, I wrote your name. I'm so sorry. We'll put this in like the comments or something. There was a person who made like brochure, like tutorial
I saw that.
things.
Yeah.
They set that up. I went to FedEx Kinko's and I ordered like 50 brochures, like the
Really?
tutorial things. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'm picking those up either tonight or tomorrow. But like people are just making their own things to be like, no, we are growing this game. I put in all this work for like a tutorial pamphlet or a brochure, however you want to call it. People are just buying product just to open and make decks for people. Everyone's trying to get this going, and
it's very reminiscent of other games I've been a part of that are, you know, from the ground floor, like grassroots. This feels very grassroots. It's not like, again, we joked about at the beginning of the podcast this time around, but like there is a bigger TCG coming out sort of around the same time. But they have 2 big companies behind them. One that makes board games, and another one that's the biggest, I think the biggest entertainment complex in the world, conglomerate in the world. And they have infinite money to just heave onto that project, right? Plus a lot of freestanding IP, and this is a brand new game, brand new IP, small dev team, and it just seems like they're killing it.
Oh, absolutely.
Killing it, so
the event giving $5,000 to first place. I mean, I said that out loud in the store, and you had a couple of like Commander players kind of like turn around, and it's like, yeah, that's the first event, and it's like $5,000 on top of all the other. I'm sure the promo is going to go for another.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
$1 bajillion. Well, that promo. Funny enough, that promo will probably far exceed the prize money associated with winning first place.
Yeah, especially because it's going to say
first place,
one of or just one.
Well, it has Ascent Houston on it, so it'll say Ascent Houston first place. So it's like, I think it is at least with that stamp. I don't know if they'll redo that character, that art in like future with like a new stamp, but on that stamp, that'll always be the first event with the first one. It's like the first prize card.
Yep. Like
true prize card.
Yeah, that is gonna make it skyrocket. So, no, it's great. They're just not pulling any punches. I know people are gonna. I'm curious if people are going to be very creative with their deck to be in the first major competitive event, or if they're going to go with a tried and true like, no, if like this is very consistent, it should blow out most of my opponents. But that will include the second set, because I think that's end of September, and the second set is in August. So, right?
The Ascent Houston does include the second set.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
They have said that. So, I think that's all we have to talk about.
Just as long as Guardian doesn't win, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, Jamie, you hear that?
I mean, no Starvo romping around in Grand Archive. No, thank you. I will say this to the devs. Guardian's one thing. For AJ's sake and my curiosity,
I already know what
can you do Ranger first? Can you or leak info about them, or just how their mechanics going to
Or
differ?
let us leak it. Could you imagine? I'll just say that.
I'll just let you do the whole thing. I'll just be like...
Just be like, our special spoiler card is the new Ranger hero. And here's why it's the best card ever made.
Do you think? No, I'm sure they will. I was gonna say we'll get a new Ranger hero, but then there probably will be a lineage one as well that like does something different. I don't know. I'm very excited. But that does pretty much cover everything. If you have not pre-ordered product, support your LGS. Or I know at the Haven we're buying tons of product, and we're going to be hosting locals on Thursday nights and Sunday afternoons, which will have promos and all that good stuff. If none of that is available to you, I don't know, go on the main Discord, and they have like online leagues. I don't know if that's going to be an ongoing thing, but I imagine you can just play, like even for fun or whatever.
And you can always find someone in the main Discord, but definitely always support your local LGS. Shout out to Grand Archive and Weebs of the Shore for making this amazing game already. Hasn't even released yet, and you're already seeing a bunch of success, so good on that. We're excited to keep bringing this podcast to you every week. Check it out. Mondays at 10 is when we drop it. And definitely, just keep playing Grand Archive, man. And if you're just discovering this and you just want to give it a try, you definitely should. Check out their website. I mean, that was one of the first things they updated, and it just looks very clean, very professional, and there's a lot of lore on it. There's story. There's just the art has been great, especially we'll probably talk about this next week as we get closer to Altar, but the Altar edition artwork has a lot of it's greatly improved.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just excited for it. We're really excited for it.
I think that's it. I don't know. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, and sub, please, when we hit 200. I don't know.
Was it down there? Down there?
I don't know. But I'll buy AJ some food if we hit 200, so that benefits everybody. So
a fed me is a happy me.
Yes.
And with that, peace.